Okay, so once you have your designs figured out and you know exactly which one you're going to do, you want to have a final drawing that's exactly the size you want to stamp. So keep in mind you don't want it to be big. You want to stay like not really any bigger than a quarter because you're going to be stamping this onto your clay. So smaller is actually a little bit better. So I think I'm going to go with this design right here. So you need to make the handle of your stamp. So start with a small piece of clay and you want to shape it so that it's something easy to hold on to. And you want to have a nice flat end where your stamp's going to go. So make sure your flat end is the right size and shape. If I was doing this design, I would square this off a bit, but I'm doing this one and I want it to be more circular. You can kind of compress the handle a little bit by just pressing it against the table. You can make your handle decorative, fancy, functional, but take the time to make it look good. You don't want it to be sloppy. Okay, so once you are ready to transfer your image, you want to make sure you have a nice smooth end on your stamp. So use the table and kind of tap it down to make sure it's really flat and smooth. Then you're going to take one of the washable markers, make sure it's a washable marker, and you're going to just carefully trace your drawing. You can do it more than once. As you can see, I've already used this one. Then you're going to take your stamp, your clay piece, and just press it right down onto the drawing. Give it a little press to make sure it transfers, and then pick it up. And it will clearly transfer your image, plus it reverses it, which is good because when you stamp it down on your clay, it's going to reverse it back the other way. So you want to make sure that it comes out backwards. So once you have it transferred, then you can start carving. Now remember, you need to decide, do you want the letter or the design raised up, or do you want it indented? If you want it indented into your final piece, then you're going to carve everything but the lines. If you want the lines raised up when you press it into the clay, then you're going to carve the lines. Now right now this clay is really soft and it's not going to carve very well. So you can start it, but you don't want to go too far without drying out and firming up this clay a little bit. So if I want this R to be raised up, I'm going to gently start pressing the lines into the clay. If you're doing a raised up design like this, then this edge is going to show. So you want to make sure that it's nice and neat and a part of your design. Okay. So that's just a start. I've got to dry this clay out a bit first before I go any further. So I'm going to go blow dry it and firm it up so that I can carve it more easily. All right, so before you can be done, you really need to do some testing and make sure that it is printing and stamping as neat and beautiful as you can make it. So you want them good and dry, so blow dry it if necessary. And take a nice piece of soft clay and test your stamp. and you can take a look and see how well it's stamping. Now I can see that I've still got some little cruddy bits in there. A dry brush is a good way to kind of get those out. You also can go back with a tool and really make sure that your edges are super neat. You really want to take the time to ensure that you have quality craftsmanship. All right, let's test that again. Yeah, that looks neater. Okay, see the difference? How that doesn't have kind of that roughness there? Much neater there. Okay, so that one's pretty good. Don't forget to put your name on the side of it somewhere.